Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do another customization video, and this time we're going to redo the costume on this salt vampire figure. I was very excited when Mego decided to do this character, but in terms of like the overall look of the costume, I think through customization I can actually improve on this and make it look more like the monster appears in the episode The Man Trap. Also, if you go back and watch the episode called The Squire of Gothos, you can actually see the monster standing in an alcove when they first enter Trelane's castle, and you can kind of get a look at the way this part of the costume actually looks. So I'm using these kinds of things as reference for what I want to do in terms of this customization. And I'm going to treat each part differently. This part will get treated with dye, and then this part I'm going to use scissors and probably a little bit of acrylic paint to sort of change the look of this, make it a little more rough looking like the costume appears in the episodes. So stay tuned and I'm going to walk you through the process. Okay, so I've removed the costume from the creature, and this is the part I want to deal with right now, this part of the costume. So I'm going to use what's called RIT dye. You can get this at your local craft store or hobby shop. It comes in both powdered form and liquid form. I'm using the powdered form, so I'm going to use a little bit of royal blue and then just a tiny amount of purple, because I think that will roughly approximate the color of this. So I boil the water, and you just want to put some of that in there, and we'll add like a little bit of the purple as well. Hopefully that'll be enough. And then we'll just submerge the costume in there. You want to be careful not to burn yourself, because this is boiling water, so you just want to be real careful about that. And so submerge the whole costume in there, and we're going to let it soak in there for a little while, and maybe a few minutes or so. And then we're going to take it out, and I'm going to wash it with sort of rinse it out with hot water, and then probably do a light wash with some laundry detergent. So I'll do that off camera and then bring it back and show you the results. Okay, so I ended up leaving it in the dye for about 5 minutes, and then took it out, rinsed it out with warm water, and then did a light wash with laundry detergent. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that's looking. It's actually looking very close to the color that you see in the photograph of the monster's hair color. So that's pretty satisfying. And what I need to do now is I'm going to let this dry for quite a while, probably overnight, just so that you get a real feel for what the final color is actually going to look like. Because we don't know for sure right now because it's still damp. So the color may actually change a little bit, may lighten, may darken. Who knows? So we'll check on this thing tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to work on this element of the costume. So stay tuned for that part. Okay, in terms of this, basically I just want to cut away a lot of this using scissors to kind of thin this out, because in the episode, this thing is very rough looking and is not as uniformly dense as what you see here. So I'm just going to do a bunch of cutting, and we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, so I fast forward through this part. Basically what you see me doing is I'm sort of cutting some stuff away and removing individual strands, and using both scissors and some nail clippers to kind of remove the parts that I don't want. Okay, after cutting away at this thing for a while and sort of removing some of the strands, it's starting to look about as messy as I want it to. So I'm going to stop, and I put it on this Mego style figure wrapped in aluminum foil because I'm going to do some painting on it. So I'm going to do some light wash with just black acrylic paint, and I'm going to water it down very much so, because I just want to do like a little wash, sort of just to dull the brightness of it. So that's the next step. So I'm just going to put a little bit of acrylic paint in there, the black acrylic, and we're going to mix that up. So it's a very, very light wash, and we're just going to paint this right on here, just to sort of dull it, because we don't want to make it look black. We just want to make it look dull. Okay, I'm going to fast forward through this part too, because I'm basically just coating the entire figure with this wash and making it nice and thoroughly coated. Okay, for the last step, this fur part of the costume is more or less dry now, so but it's a little too bright, so I'm gonna dull it down the same way I did with the other one. I'm going to use a little white acrylic, a little black acrylic, and a little bit of green, because I think that'll give it the tonality that I want. So I'm gonna put all that in this mixture with water, and then I'm gonna paint on there. So stay tuned. So I mixed up this sort of greenish gray mixture of wash, and we're going to test this out, see what this looks like on the bottom of the foot where it's not too visible. Yeah, I think that's going to work out quite well. So I'm going to go ahead and paint the entire figure with this mixture. Once again, fast forwarding through this part, takes a long time to sort of get this whole thing coated, and basically it soaks into the fabric quite a bit, so it's sort of a long process to get this part accomplished. Okay, so I painted the entire figure with that mixture, but I still think it's a little too blue, so I'm going to do one more wash over the entire thing with a sort of like a white mixture, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, this is where we're at now, and I think it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to stop on that, and mixed up a little bit of a blue wash, which I'm going to go over the top of the salt vampire's head. I'm just going to do that so I can get it to more or less match the way that the fur body looks. So just going to do this real light just to give it a little bit of color. And again, I'm fast forwarding just in the interest of conserving time and making the video a little bit shorter. Okay, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, and then we're going to let everything dry thoroughly, and then we're going to reassemble the figure. Okay, so here we are back. This is like a day later. I let everything dry very thoroughly overnight and reassembled all the various parts together on the figure. And I think it's looking pretty good. Certainly the hair color on top of the head is now sort of more closely matching the body. And I may revisit this at some point and maybe make it a little more purple. But overall, as a start, I think it's looking way better than it did initially. And I really like the way the outfit, in particular, this part came out, because it's really messy, and that very much resembles the way it looked in the actual episodes. So, because it was not very clean looking at all, and so I wanted to, make that look really dirty and grungy, and I think I more or less accomplished that. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Your support is much appreciated. And if you'd like to see more customization videos in the future, stay tuned to the channel and think about subscribing, because I will be doing more projects like this in the future. So until the next video, I hope you're having a great day and live long and prosper. Thanks for watching.